from Entwickler Magazine. I'm here on the EKON 16. I'm sitting next to Ray Konopka. Mr. Konopka, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure, I'd be happy to. Do you want me to hold it? Are you going to hold it? You'll hold it. That'd be great. My name is Ray Konopka. I'm the president and founder of Ray Software. We've been around since before Delphi was created. Actually started the company a week before Delphi 1 was launched. And we've been providing tools and components for Delphi developers since 1995. We continue to update our products. We're really excited about the new Delphi XE3. We've been updated all of our products to support that with the various, the new 64-bit support and the new capabilities in the VCL. We've been doing a lot of work to keep everything updated and all of our customers moving forward. In addition to running the company and driving all of our products. I'm the chief architect of our code site and Ray's Components products. So I do all the development and architecture for those. I do a lot of consulting with various companies, not as much as I have in the past. A lot of my time is also spent writing software for the Disney Corporation.
Okay, Disney. Interesting. Okay, let's start with Delphi XE3. There are a whole lot of new features like this multi-platform development since Delphi XE2, if I'm right. So what is, in your opinion, the most exciting feature in Delphi XE3?
I think the most exciting aspect of XE3 is really the continuation of the Firemonkey platform. And I say platform more than framework because it's not just a component library. It's all of the pieces that put an application together to enable the cross-platform capabilities that we now have. We've had in XE2, we had Win32, Win64, and OS X support, but with XE3, all of those have been refined. And the framework itself, the component framework and the style capabilities have all been enhanced to provide a much better output on all of those platforms. So a Firemonkey application, when you look at it running on Windows, it looks like a Windows application, whereas in XE2, it was a little off. It looked okay, but it really wasn't quite the same as a regular native application. Now we have that native appearance. Likewise, take the same executable, run that over, well, recompile it, target it for OS X, and run it over there, and it looks like it's picking up the Mac styles that are appropriate. That level of compatibility between the software that you're designing and how you deploy it is a real powerful feature of XE3.
Okay, for someone like me who's very new to this Delphi community, what's the difference between Firemonkey and VCL?
So basically, they have similar roles. VCL is the original classic, if you will, component framework, a visual way of building your applications up. So all of the reusable bits and pieces that we use in our applications traditionally would all be driven by the VCL components and classes. So your buttons and your sliders and your list boxes and so forth. Firemonkey has very similar controls. However, where they differ is when you look beyond or under the hood, if you look, their implementation details are quite different. VCL is driven by the presentation of the control and how it looks like on the form. All of the presentation is driven in code. Whereas in Firemonkey, the presentation of a component is actually driven by what's called a style. And the style can be a composite of a bunch of other different types of controls and primitives that make the control look the way it does. So rather than be very code generated, it's very style based, which adds a tremendous amount of flexibility for someone who wants to come in and change the way a control looks. The functionality of it won't change. For example, take a button. Button is a button. You click on it and it does some action. There isn't a whole lot of code that needs to go behind that. But if you think about how developers over the years have had to enhance the button that comes with the VCL to get the effect they want. Well, they want different colors. They want to do word wrapping. They want to add an image on the button, or they want to have a drop-down menu show up. It doesn't change the idea of a button. It's still something you can click on. It's just the appearance changes. Well, Firemonkey says, well, let's keep the button doing its basic functionality. Click on it, generate some event, but let's use a style to represent its appearance. And we'll let a developer customize that style. Basically pull out the old style, put a new one in, and have it look exactly the way they want it. It could be a completely circular button with an image right in the middle with text wrapped around the edge of it. As far as the code is concerned, it doesn't matter. It's still something that you can click on and generate an event. And it's that level of customization that is really quite different than the VCL offers.
Okay, that's quite interesting. Anders Olsen presented some of the new features of Delphi XE3. There's this mobile studio coming up in early 2013, he told me, and all these Windows 8 functionalities. So is Delphi ready for the future?
Very much so. I think there's so much going on right now in development as a whole. Several years ago, everybody was figuring out how do we target just Windows, and not even just that, it's Windows on the desktop. And now that whole landscape has changed. No one is targeting one single platform in software these days. Everybody's looking for what mobile solution you can offer. And even then it's, well, what type of mobile solution do you want to offer? Something as simple as the iPad when it first came out. Okay, how do we target software for that? It's based on similar things for iOS for the phones, but it's a different footprint. Now Apple's released the mini version. It's a different form factor. And so all of these things make it a very exciting landscape that you have all these different form factors, all these different devices. Windows itself, with Windows 8, is not just targeted as a desktop operating system anymore. It's designed for tablets and small form factors, and it's inspired by Windows Phone. All of these things come to play to where, how can we leverage what technology we have and what we're used to doing and bring our business rules and other things onto these wide variety of UI platforms. That's what makes Embarcadero so exciting right now, is because we've got a native solution, and with the mobile development coming, all of that, we can leverage so much of our existing technology. And even if things don't come across exactly, we're still leveraging the tool set. We're familiar with the development tools, the methodology, the approach, the basic skill sets, and most importantly, the language comes over for us to support all these different platforms. So I couldn't be more excited about what opportunities lay ahead.
Okay, very enthusiastic. But what are the next big steps? So what's missing to Delphi?
I think you're going to see more refinement of the workflow, of some of the things that we do. If you really talk vision of where the direction of things could go, I think you could really focus on, right now, the immediate future is getting the compiler technology out to the various platforms that need to be supported, and then have the tooling there to make development on those practical. After that point, you then start to look at, well, how can we enhance the tooling itself? Are there things that we can do to improve the workflow? What are the common techniques and common scenarios that developers are running into day in and day out? How can we simplify that down to make it even easier for developers to produce the applications that they want?
So DevOps in the Red Studio?
Oh, exactly. I think you'll see, you'll continue to see developments going into Firemonkey itself. That's clearly the direction that Embarcadero wants to take the product. That gives the cross-platform capabilities with all the platform-specific features lower level into that technology. So that's great. We're going to continue to enhance that. I'm sure you'll see Firemonkey 3 and further enhancements as we move forward. What I think you'll also see is the improvements in the IDE itself. You'll start to go back into, once the frameworks are there to support that, we can do more with the IDE to simplify that development. You're starting to see some of that now with the integration of the different designers and the different simulators and so forth, because you have to have those level of details to do a lot of the mobile stuff that's coming and other things coming down the road.
Okay, Mr. Konopka, thank you for taking time to answer my questions, and have a good time at EKON.
Thank you very much for the opportunity, and I'm sure we will. It's a great conference.